Hello, beautiful people. How are you all doing this evening? Have you had a good day? I went for my run. I did record a video and then accidentally deleted it. So I didn't get to upload it. It was just a load of waffle about tonight's show, so nothing too important. But it was hot when I was running, really, really hot. So when I got back, because yesterday afternoon, a friend of mine came round and we filled up the swimming pool. Okay, it's deep, but the paddling pool. So I got into the paddling pool when I got back from my run, and it was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you, Chris C, for letting me know. Hello, Alexa. Hello, Draca. Lovely to see you. And of course, hello, Chris C. I know that Graham Price is streaming at the moment, isn't he? So he's going to have to learn to go on time. Pass that message over. I can't do any later than 6 because at 8 p.m. there's a show on that I watch, Twin Paranormal. It's my favorite paranormal show, and I think they're really good. So yeah, I go and watch that. I have fed the cats. However, not been good this today or yesterday. They've all been throwing up. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 piles of puke to clean up after this. So that's fun. I don't know why. But then when I went to feed them, so I buy the big boxes of cat meat, and I went to feed them and took one packet out and it was split at the bottom. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe that's the thanks, Chris C. Yeah, just sorry. I know that I'm not normally on time either, but yeah, it popped up on my phone when I was putting my makeup on, and I'm like, oh. But anyway, yeah, it's just because, we support each other, and I do love Graham's channel and I do love his live streams. Anyway, and we have a lot of the same viewers. So that's, just to support each other. So, yeah, I noticed that one of the packets was open. So I've checked the others before I fed them, but I'm going to have to go out and get them. In fact, I'll order it tonight and it should be here tomorrow, some fresh cat meat. So I'm annoyed about that. That's probably why they're throwing up. And yeah, that, I don't know if you can see that middle, that's that there, that mark, that was Florence yesterday. There was blood everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And then she got me again. And there was blood everywhere. She got me last night. I was cleaning her paws. She got me last night and there was blood everywhere again. I think it was on this hand. Yeah, it was there. It was there. So she's a little bugger. I put rubber gloves on today, dishwash gloves. I use dishwash gloves because washing up liquid makes my hands itch. So I was using dishwashing gloves to sort her out in. And yeah, she managed to dig her claws into the top of my boob. We'll get there. She doesn't mind when I put her paw into the water. So I ordered some of the same stuff, but the shampoo stuff that I can put into the water that will help stop the infection. So fingers crossed, I'll use that tonight because she's okay. As soon as I put the paw into the water and let it soak for a bit, she's fine with that. She stops growling. But as soon as I get the pads to wipe, oh my God, yeah, and I have to really hold her. I mean, you would, if anybody walks past and hears her howling and yowling like she is, they will think that I'm trying to unalive her. It's very, very upsetting because I'm like, come on, it's for your own good. And because if I don't keep that one, it's just all 4, well, she's got 3 paws. So all 3 paws are infected, but it's the right one that's the worst. And the inside claw is infected really deeply. So, and she knows that's the one I'm going to do first. She's very clever. She's not a stupid cat. No, she's not stupid. She's just annoying. Can I starve cats when they are ill like you can with dogs? I know when my dogs had a dodgy stomach, they were starved for 24 hours and fed egg fried rice. I don't think Thorn would let me starve him. He'd probably eat my leg. But this morning, I didn't give him more food after he'd thrown up. I left him. But he'd been out all night, and he might have eaten something that he shouldn't have eaten. Florence is on strong antibiotics and the steroids, so that could have been what caused her to throw up. So I will just keep my eye on them. They've eaten now, so I've not filled up the biscuit bowls. I've just given them meat. So in a little while, I will fill up the biscuit bowls after this. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, either he'd eaten something, Thorne had eaten something that he shouldn't have, or he just ate his breakfast too fast because it was everything. It was everything that he'd eaten. It was a big pile of 6. So he might have eaten too fast, and so I'll see what they're like in the morning. If necessary, I'll take them to the vet. Guys, if there's a problem with them, they go to the vet straight away. The vet knows me. They know who I am. They know that I'm, very particular about my cats. So they will fit me in. So yeah, if there is anything that's urgent, I will sort it out. But it could just be that, like I say, Thorne's overeaten, and with Florence, it's her antibiotics and the steroids that have caused her to throw up. So she might have to change antibiotics. She is a difficult cat because I'm allergic to penicillin. And they said they wouldn't give me the penicillin tablets for her because of my allergy. And I'm like, well, look, I can wear gloves when I give it to her. So I'm going to have to sign a waiver and say, look, I'm wearing kitchen gloves when I give her the pill. And because we've got a routine down now with the pill. The pill's fine. She doesn't like it, but she swallows it. So we've got that bit down. It's getting the paw bit down now. So, yeah, that's the state of the cats at the moment, little buggers that they are. I wasn't feeling that great earlier on. I actually messaged Elle. I bet she's probably on Graham's channel, isn't she? Let me just have a look. Let me just turn off the volume. And I just said to her I wasn't feeling that great. And no, I don't want that. What is going on? Stop it. Sorry. Hang on, guys. Sorry. And my tooth, or lack of tooth. Okay. Okay, so he is still streaming. Okay. Yeah, Elle's on his channel, so there. So yeah, that's okay. Because I messaged her earlier and said I wasn't feeling that great, and that I might not stream tonight. But I had thanks. I had a bit of a lay down. I think it was my own fault because I did some vacuuming this morning. I think it was the vacuuming that made me feel dizzy. I must not do housework. I'm allergic to housework. Sorry, guys, just hang on because I've got a couple of videos that we can listen to. I've been trying to work out how I could get it onto here, but I know that when I play them on here, then you can't hear me. You can't hear the sound, so I'm going to have to do some technical stuff at some stage. Antibiotics can cause upset stomachs as they kill the gut bacteria. Yeah. So I'll just see. Maybe she'll have to change. I can always ring Tash tomorrow. That's the vet. She's the cat specialist vet. She deals with all the cat stuffs. So because I'm still waiting for the one result, because she had a scraping taken from her little paws to send off to be tested to see, they have to grow the culture. So the one came back, so that's okay. But then the other one we're still waiting for because she just keeps getting this over and over again. And it's like, I could say to the vet, test her for everything, but that's going to cost an absolute fortune. And I think her insurance policy has just been renewed. So yeah, it's there's something that she's allergic to, and it could be absolutely anything. It could be the grass outside. It could be the litter. I've changed her litter. It could be the carpets. If it's the carpets, there's nothing I can do. It could be any plethora of things. So hello, Jessica. Lovely to see you. Just been to the beach in Bournemouth. Oh, lovely. Lovely. It's been warm here. It's been overcast. I saw a bit of sun, but it has been very warm. I was in my paddling pool earlier. When I got back from my run, stripped off. Okay, I did keep my underwear on. And I went and just got in the paddling pool, and I was like, oh, so nice. So nice. Avoiding Mallorca. Yeah, I've not been abroad for years. I'm not really bothered, to be honest. It would cost me far too much money putting the cats into care and stuff. Warm and muggy where you are. Yeah, Chrissy, it was the same here when I went out. In fact, what was the hang on a second. Let me check well, it's 22 degrees now, 59% humidity. Yeah, I don't mind humidity in winter. That's not too bad. But in summer, when I was running, I could hear my breath, my sort of like the rattling in my chest. I'm like, okay. And I had used both of my inhalers this morning. But then a couple of, and it was gone. So into the bushes. So it's not on the path. Neil the Seal. He has his own YouTube channel called Neil the Seal. And if you have not watched his videos, watch his videos. They are hilarious. Now, he's an elephant seal, and it's Tasmania. What's that? Hobart in Tasmania. And they have patterns. He's like 5 years old or so. So he's quite small in comparison to bull elephant seals when they're grown up. So he's going to get bigger. But he comes on land and he doesn't want to stay on the beach. No, he wants to go into the town. So he, hi, Elle, lovely to see you. Are you still over on Graham's channel? Tell Graham I said hello. So he goes into the village and he destroys traffic cones and traffic signs because what it is they bull seals, when they are fighting at mating season, they rear up the sort of from their tummy bit up and they bash each other with their teeth, and because they grow a proboscis like an elephant trunk. So he's still a baby, but he's huge and he's very cute and he doesn't like to be moved. So there was talk about him being euthanized because he kept coming onto land and people were getting too close to him. He was on the streets, lying in the middle of the road. Can't move him. He's that big. And so they were talking about euthanizing him because the problems that it could cause with people as well, because he's huge. So if he attacks people, the people don't stand much of a chance. You've asked, okay. Oh, brilliant. Thank you, Elle. Thank you. I did put a link to I think it's the right one. Let me know if it's the right one that I popped into the pinned comments. Yeah, because it's easier for me to copy and paste it from the website than because I'd have to do a lot of stuff from here to there, which would just confuse me. So I think it's the right one. So he goes into people's gardens. He climbs on people's cars. He does all sorts of daft things and people love him. People absolutely adore him. The people of Hobart think he's awesome. And like I say, he's got his own channel and there's loads of video footage on there that you can go and watch. So because I'd been watching this last night, I was watching all these videos of him because I think he's super cute. There was a marine biologist came up on the feed. She's got her own channel and she was talking about Neil the Seal and what's been happening. So that is the right one. Brilliant. Hi, Diz. Lovely to see you. Hope all is good in Diz world. So she said that people should refrain from going up to him because obviously he can cause some serious damage. And now what they've done is they've put proper people in charge of him. So these are from wildlife, fisheries, whatever they're called over there in Australia, Tasmania, who are there to protect him and to try and move him when they can. So he's got support, he's being protected. So that is awesome. That is absolutely awesome that he's being protected. So yeah, if one of my wonderful mods can pop a link up to Neil the Seal, would be absolutely awesome. So you can go, he's cute. He's massive, but he's a cute seal. Hello, Richard. Lovely to see you. Let me just set up a goal. Bear with me a second. Let me set up a goal. So I'll set up for 5. Yeah. And we'll do that for that amount of time. And right. There we go. We have a goal started. If anybody would like to pop a super chat in, you are more than welcome to. All going towards vet bills, obviously. Going towards vet bills at the moment. Oh, thank you, Chrissy. Yeah, I can't. If you want a giggle and you want to laugh and you want to look at this cute animal, if you want cheering up, go and look at. Was he played on Friday Frolics as well? He is big and he's only 5, and he will only start getting into his sexy time when he's 10. And so he's got a lot of growing. He's going to quadruple in size. He is going to quadruple in size. A lot of these bull seals will actually damage cars. I mean, like really damage cars, like climb onto the car because they fight. If that's their nature, it's what they do. They get to this point in their life where it's, mating season, and their testosterone tells them need to fight, need to find a mate. So at the moment, Neil batters traffic cones and traffic signs and things, but he's very cute. I would have called him Barry White. I think also Reagan Elite played him as well on the morning show, and I'd seen it the night before because it came up on my feed. So I was like, oh God, it's so cute. And when I saw it, I thought that the people that were trying to move him along with sticks and like a shield thing were hurting him, but no, they're not hurting him. It looks like they are, but they're actually not. He could possibly squash them. That's, he is big, but he loves people and people love him. But, people have to remember he is a wild animal. And if he feels threatened, he will attack. So, just in case anybody from Tasmania watches my channel. I don't think they do, but I do have a couple of friends in Australia. Hi, Shropshire Chris. Thank you for joining. Lovely to see you. So, if you would like to support the channel with a super chat, anybody who does pop a super chat in will get a little bit of a crystal reading. Are we talking about Graham? Which Graham? Graham Hughes or Graham Power to the People? We were talking about Neil the Seal, not Graham. So Neil the Seal, who's a cutie. So tinfoil hat time, guys. It is a Sunday. It is a Sunday. Either. No, don't forget, guys, I don't watch footy. I'm not staying up to watch it. But I think after me, Graham said he was going to do live stream the Sunday Social. I won't be watching because my show is on Twin Paranormal. And then I know that Power to the People is still live streaming at the moment. So I send my love to Graham, to that Graham, spelt the other way. Which Chris is chatting. L. So, right, yeah. Climate change. Let me put up a little poll. Oh, I actually, Chrissy, yeah, I actually went and watched the end. I saw it and I'm like, okay, I understand now what the whole fuss was about, because I seen a bit of the chat and I was like, okay. Like I say, for me, it falls. There are certain shows that I want to watch live, and Twin Paranormal is one of them, because I also interact with the people that watch there. I mean, there are, I think it's nearly 2 million viewers that watch. A lot of people from the UK watch as well. They're probably, in my opinion, one of the best paranormal, ghost hunters there are. There's Sam and Colby. They're okay, but I find them a little bit too, they don't seem to do as much. And there's a British lady who I love as well, who I've just started watching recently. She's very good. But yeah, I just like, I want to watch that. And it's a 2-hour show as well. They what they do is they go to a haunted location and they stay there overnight, sometimes 2 nights, so they film, record in the day and at night. And so it's like a movie length. It's like a movie length. Right. Hang on a second. Let me just finish this little poll. And hang on a second, guys. One more to go here. Sorry, I'm having a touch type wobble today. Right, there we go. So I've started a poll. Is climate change real? So you've got 4 choices. Yes, no. What's that? It's only summer. And where can I get a hat like yours? So yeah, obviously I've had to put in daft things. Who said no? Who the bloody hell has said no? Climate change is not real. Who have I got watching here? What's this? Poor wording, might used when referring to the beast. Yes, I did. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't right. No, it wasn't right, Elle. When I saw that, I was like, okay, that, there are some things that can be joked about and some things can't be joked about. Speaking of the 4th of July, the Trumpton and the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July, Independence Day, to all of our American viewers. I did watch Mikey Famin's video that he put up of the fireworks and stuff. Yes, there is only one correct answer, Chrissy. The others are jokes, but obviously no is not an option because it is real. And I'm going to play a video. You can hear this. It's from the Beeb, and it showed up on my thing, and I was like, okay, yeah. Something definitely worth listening to, and it gives a huge amount of insight into what I've been talking about climate change migration that is happening now. It is already happening. I put yes, but just as you said, who said no? And I panicked for a second. Yeah, somebody's on here that in the background, aren't they? Hello. I've got a feeling it's either Mousecat Jam, Bass Saxon, or Grief. It's one of the three. One of the three. That's okay. That's okay. You have your opinion, but hopefully some of the science that I'm about to play will help you perhaps with a little bit more understanding as far as climate change goes. Now, everybody always refers back to 1976. I was alive in 1976. I lived here in 1976. And yes, it was hot. It was very, very hot. And I cannot remember how many excess deaths there were, but there were a lot of excess deaths. Just have to look how much the temperature changes from week to week to see something is screwy. Exactly, Richard. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, we've got another heat wave coming, haven't we, this week? Hang on. I think, yeah, Wednesday, 30 degrees here, then 31, 31, Saturday, 27. Obviously, I don't have a range further than that, but basically what that means for me is I can't run. It's too hot. It is too hot, and it's damaging my training. I haven't heard back yet from TCS London for the marathon, so keep your fingers crossed, because they have opened 2 days now for the marathon. So it will be the Saturday and the Sunday. Used to be just the Sunday, so it will be the Saturday and the Sunday for next year. So fingers crossed, guys, that I get a spot. And when I do, that's it. It will be full-on training. What's with the tinfoil hat? Hello, blah, blah. Don't you like my fashion statement? I can wear it at a jaunty angle. Wear it at a jaunty angle. There we go. Yeah, it's to help all of the, because I'm talking about climate change, and got a thing to play. And what's this thing coming in November until about March? Are we getting a winter heat wave? Oh, are you talking about El Nino? Okay, so at the moment, the El Nino is over the Atlantic Ocean, I believe. It is this year. It's happening. I think that's what you're talking about, El. Heat wave just saw extreme heat and prolonged drought caused an estimated 700 to 900 excess deaths. Okay. So then have a look at France this past week. Yes, that's it. I'm fitting in with the flat earthers, the flirters. Protection. Yeah, so the El Nino thing. And now, so this is going to affect the jet stream. I can't remember the actual name of it, but I'm calling it the jet stream, which flows up from the Atlantic down on the South American side. It flows up along the side of North America. It goes up and it comes back down along the side of us. Once that is messed up, it's going to change our weather pattern. So yes, we may have a heat wave in winter. 3,700 excess deaths during the heat wave in France, Belgium, and the Netherlands. And that's 1 week. Or is it 2 weeks? That they've had it going for 2 weeks, haven't they? So that's 2 weeks of excess deaths in first world countries, let's call them first world countries, where people have access to water, to fans, to shade, to air conditioning, and people are still dropping like flies. This is real. It is not fake. It is not a joke. Protection. No, I'm not wearing a condom on my head, Elle. I'm too old for that. Far too old for all of that stuff anyway. Atlantic meridional overturning circulation. Thank you, Chrissy. I love having you as my producer. I really do. I couldn't remember the name, so that's what it is. So this El Nino apparently is going to be one of the biggest ever that we've experienced. Now, a lot of people will say, yeah, but it started off as a hole in the ozone. And then we all stopped using CFCs and they were banned around the world. Not all countries in the world banned them, but they were actually banned in South Africa. I do remember that, those kind of fridges and that, they were phased out. And that hole possibly repaired itself. I can't remember the exact details. But El Nino has been something that has been occurring over time. And over time, it's getting worse. And that is because of the greenhouse gases, the climate going up. And people are like, yeah, but it's nice, you know, it's summer, it's nice, we can get out in the garden and so on and so on. What about the birds? It hasn't rained here for a couple of weeks. We did have one thunderstorm. And there was a video I saw earlier, somewhere in the UK had a thunderstorm. It could have actually been up in Scotland and it flooded within minutes. Why did it flood? Because the ground is so dry that it can't soak up the rain quick enough, so it runs off as surface water. I know here, if we have a big rainstorm, the dam will overflow and it will overflow into the small stream, and then the bottom of my road will be a swimming pool. That is due to climate change. People used to say it was, you know, we were going to have, what was it, climate freezing. And then it was, no, the climate's heating. And it's just climate change. Yes, climate change is natural. It's normal. It's a thing that happens. However, we are pushing it into extremes. And we are not going to be able to survive these heat levels for many reasons. Number one, it is going to affect, let's start at the beginning, it's going to affect food. If a lot of our food, we don't have a lot of food that we eat grown in this country. A lot of our farming has died, as we know. A lot of it due to Brexit. It's from my plaster. I got this stuff on my nail then. I'm looking at it thinking, what is that? I had plaster wrapped around it earlier. So there's going to be food shortages because there won't be enough water to irrigate crops. There won't be enough water to feed animals. So a lot of the countries in the world are above the equator. There are very few below the equator. But the way the Earth tilts is it tilts more, if I remember correctly, I'm trying to remember all the science involved here, because it's got the wobble and it goes around and then it does shift slightly, but the top half of the world is the part of the world that's got more land mass. And as the places like the Sahara Desert expand, and it is expanding, you can see this, you can look it up, you can go and see how it's expanded over the last 100 years. They have planted or have been planting a row of trees through the Sahara Desert to try to, make the desert a bit more fertile. But as this weather changes, there's going to be less food. There's going to be less places that food can be grown. There is going to be less insects to fertilize the food. I was listening to something the other day. Oh God, I can't remember where now. And it was a guy talking about back in the 70s. It was probably some Gen X thing. And he was saying, can you remember in the 70s, you'd drive in summer and your windscreen would be covered with bugs and you would have to stop and wash them off. Doesn't happen now. No bugs. El Nino events occur every 2 to 7 years in the past 300 years, but the majority of those occurrences have been weak. Yeah, this one's apparently going to be quite strong. I've seen the projection of it, and it's not just red in the center, it's black. The picture looked black in the center and red on the outside. So I really need to get this set up so I need an external camera, because once I've got an external camera, I will be able to do the things that I want to do. Oh, thank you, Chris, for popping that up. I'm on a hill. When we get summer storms, the road is like a mountain stream. 20 years ago, we'd get 1 or 2 storms, mostly in June. Now we seem to get around 20 from March to October. Yeah, I mean, I've lived in the UK now for 20 years. It's my 20-year anniversary on September the 9th. Yeah, 9th of September. That's when I landed in the UK 20 years ago. And within that time, definitely within the last 10 years, these massive storms that we've been getting that are all named, Fred and Blogs and, David and Alicia and whatever the names are that they come up with for them. We never used to get storms like that when I was a kid. I don't, and my grandparents lived in Sheringham. And they had a shop on the beachfront. So if you go down the main street in Sheringham, there's the 2 lifeboats. I think it's the 2 lifeboats. It's a pub and an inn on the left-hand side. So you're going towards the sea. And on the right-hand side, it's now an ice cream parlour. But that was my granddad's shop. and it was called Reeves, and he sold Royal Dalton and Worcester and Colport and all of those figurines and so on, and dinner services and tea services and so on, and was there for years and years and years. People used to come and buy from him from all over the country, and above the shop was a flat, so it was like 2 levels above that. And I remember in winter staying there and seeing the sea come over the sea walls, but I don't remember the storms ever being as bad as they are now. So yeah, and I don't think that 1976 was as bad as it is now, but we did have a water shortage that year. And I think, was that the same year we had the bread shortage? So the bread shortage would have happened because of that heat wave occurring when it did. That was around the peak season of harvesting the wheat for the bread. I remember my mum trying to make a loaf of bread, and it turned out like rock. Yeah, that was the first and last time she ever tried to make a loaf of bread. The Earth's tilt varies between 22.1 and 24.5 degrees approximately over a 41,000 year cycle. This shift alters our seasons over long periods. Yeah, but 41,000 years, that's a long period of time. This is the way that things are heating up, and scientists have worked backwards. It's mathematics. It's mathematics, and mathematics is always right. Worked backwards and said, no, this is not normal. This is not part of a normal cycle. And it's not. And if the human beings want to survive, they've got to do something about it. I hear all these stories saying, oh, well, we'll just adapt. How? How will we adapt? If anybody's got any ideas, that whoever it was that voted, no, it's not real. If you want to put some ideas as to how we'll adapt to climate change, how we will adapt to the heat that is only going to get worse over the next coming years. So we had, 40 degrees heat? In cities and towns, it's going to be worse because they're concrete. So the concrete absorbs the heat and bounces it and reflects it back, especially when you've got lots of windows. And then a lot of cities, the buildings have air conditioners. So there's all that going on as well, bringing hot air into the city centre. Now, I don't live in a city. I live in a village. But it was, when I stepped outside, I was like, this is the worst heat I have felt. Even my mum said this, she said, this is not like South Africa, where you do get 40-degree heat sometimes, very rare, but I'm sure it's more prevalent now, but different. And it's because our houses are built to keep in the warmth, because we live in a pretty much cold climate. So our houses hold the warmth. And opening the windows and doors is not going to help, because you're just letting warm air in. So it's going to make it even warmer. I have talked about things that you can do to keep cool and, to try and survive. But the best thing you can do is to just not move, to just make sure you have enough fluids, wear light clothing, keep cool, cold water, face cloth on the back of your neck, bowl of cold water. Even a fan is just moving hot air around. So, it is it worth it? I saw footage as well last night of a Lidl, where they'd been advertising some cheap air conditioning units. They were small. And people got there at like 5 a.m. and they actually broke down the doors from the weight of the people. And people was like Black Friday, like the first Black Fridays. Remember that we saw years ago footage of people throwing things and climbing over each other and so on. It was just like that. What's it going to be like when we run out of food? What is it going to be like when there's no bread on the shelves, when there's no milk on the shelves, because the cows are all dying because of a drought and they don't have access to water? What's it going to be like when there are no tomatoes? Or when there is no apples? This year, my apple tree has got less fruit on than last year. And remember, I took all those photos of the plum trees up along the path as I go up to the woods on my run. Loads of flowers on them. Yeah, hardly any fruit. Hardly any fruit, because there are hardly any bees. What you can do with your own growing food is use a tickling brush. My granddad used to call it a tickling brush. You need a very fine brush. Actually, a good one to use is to make it from hair, and then, you know, fasten it onto like a stick and then tickle the flowers of the fruit. So you're mixing the pollen. Sounds weird, but it works. I mean, it's, you know, pollination without a bee. Okay, on the ozone layer, it is expected to fully heal by 2066. However, there are concerns that global warming could potentially reverse the healing process. Exactly. And 2066, that's 30 odd years. That is 30 years. Yeah, 20, 34, 50, 40 years. 40 years, just count on my fingers. 40 years. Global average surface temperatures have risen rapidly. The rate of warming over the past century is approximately 20 times faster than the historical average. And it is due to people and the Industrial Revolution and cars and all the pollutants that we put out into the atmosphere. It is due to that. That's a fact. That is an absolute 100% fact. The amount of cows that we have eating so that people can eat meat. I'm not a vegetarian, and their methane that they produce, hot air rises. Majority of AC units were on eBay and vinted within several hours of them being purchased, but at vastly inflated prices. I can believe that. I can definitely believe that. My mum's flat was 22 degrees whilst my house was 32 degrees. They have balconies one side and a hallway the other side. Yeah, my mum's flat was red hot. Her flat is always red hot. I go there, and even in winter, I wear a t-shirt and shorts because it's too hot for me. She's got 3 fans though. She's got a big fan, and she's got another fan, and then she's got the hand fan that I got her, the same as the one that I use. So she's got that as well. And I kept saying to her, Mum, get a face cloth, because she's got hundreds of face cloths, wet it and put it on the back of your neck. She forgets, she forgets to do that. And she's like, oh yeah, because normally she's complaining that her feet are cold. Not this last week, she wasn't. Yeah. That is, unfortunately, living in a flat is even worse. Hello, Billy. Lovely to see you. Hello, Sarah Davies. Lovely to see you. Thank you, Graham. Thank you, Graham, for sending everybody over. Love you lots. It's real. Climate change is real. We still have somebody that says no. Hello, Lost Missionary. Lovely to see you. So I'm going to play some of this. It's from BBC. Chris, I don't know if you can find it. It's from the Economist. No, it's from the Economist. Sorry. This is actually from 4 years ago. So interesting that it's from 4 years ago. Oh, sound, Witchy.
3 degrees. It can be the difference between snow and sleet, wearing a jacket or not. In your day-to-day life, it may not seem significant, but 3 degrees of global warming would be catastrophic.
Heat wave, droughts, extreme precipitation, even fire. 3 degrees of warming is really disastrous.
The scary thing is, the world is well on its way there. Since the Industrial Revolution, the Earth has warmed between 1.1 and 1.3 degrees Celsius.
This is a problem that babies you pass in the street will have to live with.
That's the thing. That's the thing, that the children of today will have to grow up in this heat. How are they going to cope? this video actually ties in with the next video that I'm going to play, so you can listen to that. But yeah, it is actually, you know what's funny, Elle? A video has just come up now on my feed here, is a super El Nino coming. So I'll watch that later and play that tomorrow on tomorrow's show. Thank you for popping the link. Thank you so much. Hello there, person impersonator. Lovely to see you. I don't know that living in a flat is worse, especially when the ground floor neighbor has their effing heating on during the heat wave. Oh dear. Yeah. I mean, this is the ground floor that I'm in at the moment. I couldn't bear upstairs. When the cooler weather came, I opened all the windows and there was like everything was flying all over the place upstairs. The wind was just blowing through. Thank God. But I've got a day bed downstairs that my mum used to sleep in when she used to come through. She doesn't anymore because of things. So I also bought the day bed when I lived in a really awful cold cottage that had the original sash windows and no heating except for an open fireplace. And I bought the day bed as a settee so that I could sleep in there during winter. So now I'll be sleeping in the dining room because it's like an open plan kitchen diner area and it's in there. So at least it's one of the cooler rooms because the windows don't face south. Hi, Suzanne. Lovely to see you. Thank you for joining. Hi, Billy. Lovely to see you. I hope I've not missed anybody. Before I go back to the video, I have put a goal for Super Chat. So if you do want to drop in a Super Chat, please do. The goal is 5. And anybody who does drop in a Super Chat will get a little crystal message from me. I don't have a confetti or anything like that, so I will just have to shout. And then also, if you can fill in the poll, it's all talking about climate change mostly today, but some other things as well that are also connected to climate change. Sorry, I think there are many don't want to admit climate change because they're worried it's too big of a lifestyle change. Lost Missionary, you are absolutely, absolutely correct. It is a huge lifestyle change. And like you say, people don't want to do that. I have my thoughts on that as well. I'll try and come back to that in a bit. Let's listen to some more of this.
Children born today are up to 7 times more likely to face extreme weather than their grandparents. If global temperatures do rise by 3 degrees, what would their world look like? Rising sea levels, desertification. Hollywood has always enjoyed imagining the end of the world. While blockbusters like this are clearly fiction, this film will show the scenario we all face.
Hi, Graham. Lovely to see you. Thank you so much. You're taking Annie for a walk. Oh, lovely. Give her big hugs from me. Give her big hugs from me. Graham, I am going to be in Liverpool next weekend. I'll be in Southport. So I don't know how close you are to Southport, but there's a good pub across the road from my mum's called Duke's. It used to be called Bar Mio. So if you want to meet up for a coffee, let me know. Let me know. Be good to meet you in person and we can talk about guitars. You've made one yourself, Suzanne. Good. Pop it on and we can all sit here with our tinfoil hats. You only have to look at how Gammons reacted at schools closing early or closing completely and allowing pupils to wear PE kits, calling them snowflakes. I know. And yet, when it snows, our kids can't go to school. And then people were saying, well, how do they cope in Africa? Schools in Africa are built differently. I said this the other day. They are built very, very differently. You know, it's completely different environment. Completely different environment. Schools start earlier. They finish earlier. Yeah. Yes, please subscribe to Graham if you are not already subscribed to his channel. He's absolutely brilliant. I watched your which one was it recently? The one that you did, was it about frogage? I watched that and I wanted to comment, but then it jumped to something else. So I will go back and comment because it was a brilliant video. Absolutely brilliant. Loved it. So yeah, if you can, Graham, if you can't, you can't. I know, I understand. I completely understand. So yeah, closing schools during a heat wave. A child has more of a chance of suffering extreme heat wave issues than suffering from the cold. Because there's central heating inside the schools. Oh God, yeah, I do watch your stuff. I watch everybody's stuff. Watch as many of the content creators that I can, because, you know, should be an ironic tin foil hat march somewhere. Absolutely. Oh, I love that idea. Yeah. Yeah. I can make different ones as well. And this was my first attempt at ever making one. And I'm wearing it at this jaunty angle because apparently, you know, let's go back to the footage.
Unless more drastic measures are taken to stop burning fossil fuels.
Adverts, sorry.
In some parts of...
Okay, so this is now in Dhaka in Bangladesh, which is a very, very densely populated area with lots of concrete buildings, but also lots of shacks and small buildings where people try and live.
The world, the effects of inaction are already clear. The slums of Bangladesh's capital are filling up with climate migrants. Minara comes from Bola district, an area in southern Bangladesh. There, like many other parts of the country, rivers swollen by heavier rain and melting Himalayan glaciers are washing away people's homes. Many, like her, have lost everything.
A home in Bola had endless, there was lots of space for farming. We used to eat the fruit from our own trees. We used to, I can't eat them now because they don't exist anymore. Since the river flooded for the third time, I had to flee to Dhaka. Life was much better back home. It was unbearable to live through, truly intolerable. We didn't have the time to save anything at all.
1.1 to 1.3 degrees of global warming has already transformed Minara's life. It's one of the reasons why so many migrants like her are moving to the city each year. Nearly 400,000, according to the last estimate. And climate models show there could be much worse to come.
Now we're in London.
Climate scientist Yuri Rogol has spent the last 10 years modeling future climate scenarios for the United Nations.
The models we use to carry out this exercise really represent the state of the art of our current knowledge of climate change and where we are heading.
Yuri's projections use data collected by hundreds of scientists around the world.
Hundreds of scientists around the world, not just one or two that have come up with some model that's not even been peer reviewed or, you know, signed off by other people. It's just their ideas of saying, well, no, it's happened before. The thing is, with the tinfoil hatters, it is a cognitive dissonance. It is, they don't want to think cognitively because I can't remember who it was in chat. I think it was Lost Missionary said that people don't want to change their lifestyles, and they don't. It's true. So I'm using myself as an example. You know, I can give you my example. I have a car. I hardly drive it. I filled up my car when the war broke out in the Gulf. I can't remember how long ago that was now, and it has only just gotten to empty, so I now have to go and fill up again. So that's how little I drive my car, which is bad for the car because the sensors will clog, and petrol sitting in the tank for that long is not good either because all the gump sinks down to the bottom of the tank. I can't afford to, but it's also a choice. I'd rather not drive the car, but I don't really go anywhere anyway. Petrol's too expensive. I live on my own. I do not shower every day. I know that sounds gross. I have a standing wash over the sink. I've also, if I need to, I've got one of those hand shower things over the bath. I don't like bathing. It takes far too long to fill up the bath. However, now I've got my paddling pool. Don't need a shower. It's getting the paddling pool after my runs. So I try and do only like 2 loads of washing a week, darks and lights. That's it. So I've cut down on my costs of cleaning products. I'm not very good at housework. I don't really do it very often. So, that wasn't easy. That wasn't hard to do. Yeah, I try not to buy things. Unfortunately, we live in a society where we need to shop. We need to shop to buy things. And we are living in a society where we are bombarded all the time by advertisements. Going back to when I was a kid, BBC didn't have any ads. I mean, BBC has ads for BBC programs, but I don't think it even had that many ads for BBC programs when I was a kid. And then ITV came along later. So it was BBC One, BBC Two, and ITV. I think Channel 4 just came out after I left the UK, early 80s, and then Channel 5 later. So now you pay Amazon Prime, you get advertisements. Even if you are watching a free movie on YouTube, you get advertisements partway through. And yeah, I know we advertise on this channel, on the channels, because it helps to pay us, because we've got to make a living. Sensory overload. Yeah, Suzanne, it is a sensory overload. And the thing is, you'll see something, you think, oh, that looks good. I'll try that. Or, you get home from work and think, oh, I don't feel like cooking. You know what? I'll just get Just Eat or Uber Eats or whatever. So, by buying a McDonald's meal and having it delivered, you are already processing of that food that's gone into it, the factory that runs it to make that processed food, the packaging that it comes in, the all the oils that are used, everything that goes into that making of that food. The lettuce will be supplied, all of those things will be supplied in bulk, and they're all processed. It's not fresh. It would have been in the freezer. The oil that is used to make it. Don't forget, those people that work there are paid minimum wage as well, which brings me on to another topic as well that I want to discuss. As I don't even know if we're going to have time today, but was it $12.31 minimum wage or something ridiculous like that? So that works out, I'm not taking off tax or anything, but that works out to about 2,000 and something a month. And I saw some comments saying, oh, they should, people who are on benefits should get paid less than minimum wage. We are paid less than minimum wage. I don't get 2,000 a month. If I got 2,000 a month, I'd be doing okay. Some people have no clue at all. Because the benefits, your entitlements, which you're entitled to, part of it pays for your rent. And if your rent is more than what you get, you are responsible for paying that rent. So it's education, isn't it? It's education. Always too slow and easygoing. Yeah, I used to love driving. Not anymore. Not on the motorways. Oh God, oh, in South Africa, we didn't have as many cameras on the road, so I could speed. Netflix also has advertisements as well now. It does. Amazon ads in the middle of my streaming with the click here to add to your basket. Yeah, and they've all got blooming QR codes now, haven't they? I do 5 loads of washing a week minimum on a 30-degree cycle. Yeah, also use the cold cycle. My dishwasher, I hate washing dishes. My dishwasher is on the eco mode, and when I hear it beep, I go and open the door so it's not using the heat to, to dry everything. And I wait till it's full. I wait till it's absolutely jam-packed full before I turn it on. I bought extra cat food bowls and things like that so that I, have enough cat food bowls for them all. Yeah, we are the third world. The first world is buy. And then you have places like Pakistan, like India, that are in this in-between stage where you've still got the super poor and the sort of middle classes and then the uber rich. Same in South Africa. You have a similar scenario there. So, the poor people want what the middle class people have. They want a proper house. They want decent food. They want to have a washing machine and not have to wash their clothes in a river or a stream that's filled with effluents. They want to be able to buy food. We live in such disparity at the moment in the world. We really, really do. And it's terrifying. And as this video mentions now, she moved from out in the middle of somewhere in Pakistan, I can't remember the name of it now, it began with a B, moved to Dakar because her farm got flooded. She had a farm. She lived on a farm with her family. They were farmers. They probably had that farm for centuries. And now she's had to move to a big city where she doesn't want to be, but she couldn't afford to live elsewhere. That is the worst thing McDonald's, KFC, Burger King, etc. ever did was introduce Just Eat, Uber Eats, Deliveroo. The restaurant staff are pressured into prioritizing those orders by managers. Absolutely. I agree with you there. Don't get anywhere near 2,000 a month just being, oh, Graham, yeah. No, neither do I. I just looked at my bank statement today and I'm like, and my PIP got turned down in November last year and I have been fighting it and it's now going to arbitration. Yeah. It's shit. I like driving sometimes. Yeah, on the country lanes. Yeah, I live on the country lanes. Yeah. That's why I like going to Clumber, because I go on the country lanes. There's a little road that you take. You can go like on a busier road, but I like to go left and down. It's like all the trees and there's a lake and yeah. Threatened with heavies coming round and inspecting my flat. TV license company. I don't watch telly or stream. I do pay my TV license. It comes off of my bank account. I had to do a whole thing with, what's it? The people that help you when you've got no money and you've got no benefits and stuff, and them people that are really good. Citizens Advice. They have no right to enter your home or menace you. Yeah. I wouldn't even open the door. Speak to them through the window. Yeah, Suzanne, don't let them in with a signed warrant from the magistrates, and they rarely get those warrants. They like to scare people into submission. Yeah. Citizen Advice. Thank you, guys, for writing that down. Think of the word. I was thinking Civil Bureau of Investigation. No, we're not in America. Did anybody see the disasters that happened with the July the 4th stuff? His World Fair, his speech, the Brooklyn Bridge was on fire due to some fireworks exploding. Absolutely awful. And of course, they've got a heat dome at the moment over America. So there were people, I was watching some footage, I think it was on Adam Mockler and Midas channel, and Ben Mycelis, and they were showing people that had been fainting in the heat of this World Fair thing, because there's no shade in this World Fair thing, which is a complete rip-off. And they had these like sort of like golf carts, but modified for ambulance services that were taking people who'd fainted to a place for them to recover that had no air conditioning. Have a 10-day window. I haven't done anything wrong. Yeah, you've done nothing wrong. Ignore them. No car for 2 years. Luckily enough to walk to work 10 minutes away. Town is nearby, and it's a mile walk to my mum's a few times a week. Guildford is 5 miles away if I need to do big shopping. Yeah, that's it. Unfortunately, my mum lives in Liverpool and I live in Chesterfield. And to catch the train, oh my God. I think because I'd have to go, I'm trying to remember, from here, I'd have to catch a bus into Worksop. So I'd catch the bus from train from Worksop to Sheffield, then Sheffield to Manchester, then Manchester to Liverpool, then Liverpool to Ainsdale. Southport one, I think, yeah. Be expensive. Far, far, far. And can you imagine me with my massive suitcase? Because, you know, I'm a woman. I have clothing. And I'm a goth. Massive suitcase on wheels. And then I'd have to have Thorn in his bag. And God knows how I'd get Florence there. All of them on the train. Oh, my God, it would be a nightmare. Would be an absolute nightmare. But like I say, I hardly ever drive it. What's Elle said? They said that global warming is scaremongering. Personally, what I find scary is that they know it's true and aren't doing a damn thing about it. Yeah. Petrol. It's the oil magnates. It's petrol. It's the rich, the Arab nations, all the producers of petrol and oil that are telling us, no, it's not a thing. Well said, Elle, like Graham just said. I was bitching to my son about his motorbike adding to climate change in fun. Little shit, put the eggs on. Hello, Panda. Lovely to see you. How are things over there in California? And happy July the 4th to you, Independence Day. It's not ignorance, it's greed. Yeah, the rich will no doubt have aircon. Oh, of course they will. Of course they will. I don't want to talk about Froggage and his stuff that's been going on, because I'm sure that there are going to be loads of content creators who are talking about it. I've seen stuff from Max and Political Custard, and I don't know if Graham talked about it this morning a bit, I think, didn't he? Yeah. And Graham, I don't know if you talked about it today, but yeah, I don't think Farage has got long at all. I really don't think he's got long at all. Pipe under the window and rev to deafening the fume. Don't let him take the pipe off. Don't let him take it off and put a free flow on. Okay, let's go back to the video.
Here, this is the 3-degree level, and so there is at least a 1 in 4 chance that under current policies we would hit 3 degrees by the end of the century.
This is just one of the scenarios Yuri looks at. Another one imagines that all policy promises are kept. The most optimistic assumes that all promises have been kept and net zero targets are met.
Where our best estimate ends up around 2 degrees at the end of the century, there is still a 1 in 20 chance that we end up with 3 degrees instead. One wouldn't be entering a plane if there's a 1 in 20 chance that the plane will crash.
A rise of 3 degrees would affect everyone. Even wealthy cities and rich countries wouldn't be immune to the consequences. European capitals like Paris and Berlin would bake under more extreme heat waves. Frequent storm surges in New York would turn parts of the city desolate.
In many ways, cities magnify, intensify climate events. Cities are hotter than the places around them. They tend to be more vulnerable to flooding, and you can get a really bad event in a city in a way that you can't in the countryside.
And because of their denser populations, disasters in a city affect far more people. Some cities might be badly prepared for the changes coming, but they have the means to adapt.
So, sorry, Panda, I saw there that you put you don't celebrate the 4th. Okay, no problem. Just celebrate every day. Yeah, we haven't adapted. Here in the UK, we have no adaptation for this incredible heat. And I think that we'll probably see with El Nino happening later on in the year. Now, that will fall after the harvest, but there are crops that are planted at that time of year. Beets, I think, are planted, and so sugar beets. I know that the fields over here get different sort of root vegetables planted at that time of year. And of course, it depends on the field, the irrigation, and so on. Leaves on the railway, yeah, that, you know, it's a 2-stroke, okay. Yes, Diz, it is a thing. It's a thing with most bikes, yeah. El Nino could trigger the next ice age. It could. And then it'll all melt next year when we have these ridiculous heat temperatures again. And like he was saying there that, you know, Paris and Berlin will bake. Well, they did. Like Chris said earlier on in the chat, 3,700 excess deaths in France, Belgium, Holland, and, well, Netherlands, and I think you mentioned another country, and I can't remember which one it was now. The elderly, children, and those with illnesses are the ones that are affected. And like I said, when the temperature goes up on Wednesday, I'm not going to be able to run. It's just going to be too hot. For me, I have COPD. I have chronic kidney disease as well. So there goes my training. I'm going to be so distressed because I won't be able to go out walking either, because my chest will just, even though I use all my inhalers and take all my medication, you still end up with, you know, suffering those consequences. Greens and onions, yes, they are. People think the heat wave last week will be the last one. Oh, they are in for a surprise, definitely, Graham. I love seeing Panda's messages. All the, hang on, I can't do it. I'm not as good as everybody else at doing the love heart thing. One of my viewers in France sent me an email about how it was 38 degrees in the north of France. Scary times. Yeah. Can't walk a mile in the extreme heat. No. El Nino cannot trigger an ice age. In fact, it has the exact opposite effect by releasing massive amounts of heat into the atmosphere and driving global temperatures higher. And that's what was happening in the States, this heat dome. Like, we had the same thing last year. I don't know if we had the heat dome with the heat wave the other week, but that air was from the Sahara. That air was from the Sahara. So if you, like I said earlier on, the Sahara is expanding. So the people who live in those areas, that heat's going to increase. They're going to start migrating. And where are they going to migrate to? The Northern Hemisphere, because it is greener and cooler. I mean, you look at Australia, the middle of Australia is a desert. You know, so they are going to migrate to where there is food. If you are starving, you are going to go where the food is. It's that simple. When it's 10 degrees, I'll be happily walk 20 to 30 miles. Yeah. Oh, Liebchen. So Liebchen's joke. Did you hear about the guy who provided the voice of the speaking clock? After suffering 2 already, he died on the 3rd stroke. It's not funny. It was a heat dome. Okay, thank you, Chrissy. I thought it might have been. My new neighbour passed away in the heat wave. Oh, I'm so sorry about that, Suzanne. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, that's awful. That's absolutely awful. It will happen. It will happen. I mean, my watch monitors things, but like I said earlier on, the best thing to do when it's hot like that is nothing. Absolutely nothing at all, or as little as you possibly can. I don't find that too difficult. And don't forget, my stream went, didn't it, because of the heat? My stream went, and my laptop is raised. It's actually on a stand. It's not even flat. It's so the air gets to the, yeah, and it was really hot as well. So yeah, people will migrate. People will migrate. People will go to where the food is. Floods, extreme flooding. And here in the UK, you know, our dam system, they were supposed to be building new dams, weren't they? And they haven't. So, you know, not enough water is collected. It was last year when I drove to Manchester and I went through Snake Pass, Woodhead Pass, it's known as, and that goes to Tintwistle and Glossop and that route. The dam was dry. There was a stream down the middle. You could actually see the whole bottom of the dam and just a stream down the middle. And a few years before that, I'd been to the dam that's Derbyshire. I can't remember the name of it now. Not the one further south. And that was a few meters lower than it should. We'll say a few meters, quite a lot of meters lower than it should have been. And now you're getting to the stage where the dam is actually completely drying up. No reservoirs built in 15 years thanks to the Tories and privatisation. Yeah, all of that needs to be brought back into public domain. I'm on at least 4 medications that make it hard for me to regulate my body temperature and heat. Yeah, Sarah, I hear you. Like I say, and I will give this advice to everybody because it's going to cost you nothing. A face cloth or a tea towel or even a towel. Cold water, rinse it out, put it on the back of your neck. That will cool you down. Pouring cold water onto the top of your head. Your top of your head releases the most amount of heat. I actually do that when I'm running. I pour water on the top of my head. A lot of runners do that because it helps keep you cool. And don't forget, if your body temperature reaches 35 degrees, you're pretty much boiled alive. Also, I mean, I've got in my freezer, I've got tea towels, old tea towels ready that have been put in water and then put into the freezer. So when it gets hot again, I can take them out, ice cold, pop them on me where I need to. Wrists, back of the neck, feet, wherever you need to, you know, to keep cool. What we should have done is mandated new builds incorporate rainwater harvesting for flushing toilets. Absolutely. Watering garden and washing machines will save billions of litres of water every year. Absolutely. Oh, yes, please, guys, if you could click on the link that is in the pinned comment. I don't know if it's at the top or the bottom because it used to be at the bottom and now it's gone back to the top again, I think, because I can't see it. To sign the trans petition. That would be awesome. We need to start building desalination plants. Yeah, if the sea levels are going to rise, it makes sense to use the water. Absolutely, Draca, absolutely. Hi, Mikey. Happy 4th of July to you. I did watch your video earlier. But I see that there's been lots of stuff go on over there. I'm sure you'll be talking about it. Onions in the chat. Who's onions? Is that Mikey? When we had 5-day water outage, I harvested rainwater, wastewater for flushing. Advice on water. Get yourself now, while it's still available, a couple of those big bottles of cheap water from whatever shop you shop at. You can also buy these plastic water things online. My hat's falling off. My hat's falling off. They're plastic and they expand. They fit about 5 litres of water in. Fill them up now. Make sure you have enough water for drinking and enough water for cooking and enough water for washing. Washing yourself down and stuff like that. Survival tips: store it. Make sure that you, like, every 3 months, refresh it. So you use it, refresh it, because after 3 months it goes a bit iffy. So make sure that you are using it. Hello, friends, lovers, countrymen. A dangerous poor body temperature is anything above 40 degrees. Above this temperature, the body loses its ability to regulate itself, leading to organ damage and death. Yeah. Oh, thank you for putting up the bin podcast link there, Elle. Oh, she's doing a brilliant job, isn't she, Graham? She's doing an absolutely brilliant job. I've been sharing it on my Facebook as well. I think possibly Draka has as well. You are loved, Mikey. You are loved. Everybody in the chat is loved. Yeah. Exactly, Elle. Exactly. They'll use it to take us all down. Okay, so I'm going to leave the climate thing there because we've talked about it a lot now, and I think we all agree that climate change is real. However, somebody doesn't. Somebody, what are the? I'm going to end the poll here now. 4% say it's not real. 4% say, what's that? It's only summer. And 7% say, where can I get a hat like yours? Blue Peter, I made it myself. And 85% say, yeah, climate change is real. So I think we know that climate change is real. So yeah. Anybody who understands science, knows that it's real. Oh, huge love to you as well, Panda. Huge love to you. Kin water bill is $850 per annum now and going up. It's silly. And it's because the Tories didn't do what they were supposed to do. We need massive hemp fields, cheap, fast carbon capture with little water. Absolutely, Mikey. I couldn't agree with you more, because not only can it be used medicinally, but clothes, paper, there are so much uses for hemp. And that's just the male side of hemp, not the female flowering plant. So, we do need that. That will create so much more oxygen. Chris, yours is $39 a month. I'm on a social tariff as well. I pay a small amount. Hello, Doc Davies. Lovely to see you. You shared it on your Facebook as well. Brilliant. Make do and mend, Suzanne. Absolutely. Make do and mend. Well, this, I need to take it in because when I bought it, it was much bigger and it's huge. So I need to take it in. But I do like it because it's cotton and it's nice and cool. There's a company making bricks from hemp. Wow. You see, hemp can be used for so many things. Though I did note that the greens of the local golf courses were suspiciously green and lush after last week's heat dome. Yeah. It's because I'm helping to pat CEOs millions and dividends where none are warranted. Lost missionary, I agree with you. Absolutely agree with you. I agree with your other statement. They could be getting stoned. Yeah, absolutely. Draka, necessary also if the government commits to tidal energy, taking advantage of the roughest coastal waters in Europe, we'd have the energy for it. There is a lot of contention around hydropower. I don't know the ins and outs of it. It's not something that I've looked at, but I believe there is some contention there. So wind and solar, if we're going to have more of these heat domes, solar panels. Every single roof home in the United Kingdom should have solar panels on it. Every single parking area, you know, like outside your shopping centres, Tesco, Aldi, wherever, they should be covered with solar panels. Every single one of them. Looks lovely, nothing fits you. Oh, Suzanne. 3.2 million reward package for what? For getting effluents into our water. I would be happy having a compostable toilet in my garden. When I go camping, the toilets on site that I go, the camps that I go to, not the one at Thornborough, but the other one, they are compostable toilets. So, you know, the pee goes one way, the poop goes another, and a scoop of sawdust over the top. And it's in a forest. So, hello, Liz Allen. Lovely to see you. My water portion of the bill is $20 and sewage is 69 routinely. This is even with capturing shower water for flushing. So is that per month? That's, I don't even know what that is in pounds. I have several schematics. I love tidal energy. Okay, so Mikey's the person to talk to about tidal energy. This is where small module nuclear reactors could be the solution. They are energy dense and could provide the energy needed for desalination plant. There are a lot of newish builds with solar panels on outside Manchester and electric buses. Yeah, oh, per month, right. Okay, so that's quite high, I would imagine. I would imagine it's pretty much what, who was it? I think it was Lost Missionary who said yours is like nearly 900 quid a month. My point is, I thought the Labour government had banned water company CEOs receiving bonuses and rewards for failure. Yep. Oh, that sounds good, Billy. Good idea. Good idea. Yeah, as long as Brits can still have a cuppa, that's important. That's why I say make sure you've got enough water, because if you want a cuppa, you need a cuppa. Hang on, let's see. Hang on. What is going on? What is going on? Okay. I support small nuclear power plants as well. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments there. So, yeah, climate change is real. It's only going to get worse. And I think all the deniers that are out there at the moment, as they get older and have nowhere to go and see that there are more people coming across the channel, more people moving around the world to get to cooler places, to get food. Food, lack of water will cause war. It will. People will fight. People will fight for food. So, something that is linked to the climate change and the costs of climate change and how that is changing the prices of food. Brexit is also a big part of that, as we know. So this is a video that came up. It's a compilation of lots of TikTok videos, British people complaining about the economy and how expensive things have become. And most of these people are millennials and younger. Now, I've been gauging the price of butter for a long time. I know it sounds daft, but butter is, I don't know, it's just a thing that I've been gauging the price of it. And you can see if you go to the shops how much a basket of food costs, how much a loaf of bread is, how much vegetables are. Do you know what's funny? At Christmas, all the vegetables are like 20p a bag, aren't they? Just, and if we do have climate change the way it's going, we won't be able to buy things like oranges or, unless we're growing them ourselves, which we may have the climate to do so if we have enough water to water them. But we'll go back to eating things like sprouts and cabbage and potatoes and beets and all those horrible, vile, disgusting vegetables that we force ourselves to eat. So yeah, it's like I remember when I first started going through menopause, I'd go to the shop and I'd open the freezer and I'd be like, oh, I have short hot flashes now, very short hot flashes now. It's funny because when I do, like the cat will get on me, one of them will get on my knee, and all of a sudden I just feel my body temperature go, it's like a fire inside, and the cats jump off my knees like, you're too hot now. Hi, Marcus. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you. Thank you for joining. Lovely to see you, Marcus. So happy that you're here. So, cost of living. Now, should I put up another poll? I'll put up another poll. Let's do that here. Okay, so you've got 2 stupid answers there and 2 decent answers to have a look at. So, thank you for popping that up, Chris C. So, concerns about nuclear waste, push bikes with dynamos. I love polls because it pisses off certain sects in society who don't like the lefties. Yeah, there's quite a lot that don't like the lefties, but we're winning. We're winning. There's a lot more intelligence. So let's have a listen to some of these. I want to call them kids because I know they're not, but I look at anybody who's like 15 years younger than me and I think, oh my God, you're a kid,
People like to talk about the cost of living crisis, but no one actually talks about the fact that our shopping is doubling in price week by week.
Can this fucking country get any worse? Cost of living crisis, bills through the roof, can't feed your fucking kids properly.
Like, we do everything we're told to do. We go to school, we go to university, we get a job, we work hard. Yet things like owning a house seem impossible.
What is going on in this country? I never thought I would turn into one of these guys that whinges about fucking prices and stuff.
We pay income tax, council tax, VAT, road tax, national insurance. Now they want to tax us to take a bloody rest.
Excuse me, can you get me this as well? Appreciate that.
His name is...
bloody adverts again, sorry.
What he discovered is that the body holds everything the mind tried to move past.
This is why I make sure to steal every time I go shopping, because I'm not having this shit. I'm scamming them back.
How am I meant to survive? How's anyone meant to survive?
Freedom is not working. It's not working for more money because the harder you work, the more they're going to take from you anyway. What's the point in earning more?
Can someone explain to me why everything is so expensive nowadays?
I do not want to hear anybody moan about the price of food. I have just literally been robbed blind. Shut that door and freaking lock the door. And this is our receipt.
Cheers.
When was the last time you walked into a supermarket, filled your trolley with the basics, looked at the total on the checkout, and genuinely thought, how did it cost that much? For millions of people across Britain, that's no longer an occasional shock. It's become normal. Every week, prices seem to creep up again. Food costs more, energy bills remain painfully high, rent keeps climbing, mortgage payments are stretching household budgets. Even a quick trip for milk, bread, and a few essentials can leave you wondering where your money disappeared. The cost of living crisis isn't just a headline anymore, it's everyday life. People are working harder than ever, yet somehow feeling poorer. Families are cutting back on meals out, holidays, heating, and even basic necessities just to make ends meet. And perhaps the most worrying part is that many of us are starting to accept this as the new normal. In today's episode of Brit Rants, we're asking a simple question. How did Britain become this expensive? And is there any sign that things are about to get better?
Before I let that go on, it's a channel called Brit Rants. It just popped up on my feed and I watched it and I thought, I'm so glad that other people are noticing this and being aware of how expensive everything is. I mean, there's lots of reasons for the costs of things going up. Brexit here in the UK, definitely one of them. The cost of fuel. I believe in America, they've kept the fuel prices pretty low, but in America, you have your own fuel reserves. We don't have that here. We used to, but then Thatcher came along and got rid of all of that stuff. So petrol is used in the making of plastic. I've said this before, and it's used in things like Vaseline, petroleum jelly. There's a lot of things that use petrol in its creation. And so, things have to be transported. Goods have to be transported. The packaging that your things come in. I mean, like medication, that's plastic, plastic. Inhaler, plastic. So those petrochemical companies are ripping us off because of things like this. I mean, I get a new inhaler and they send the whole thing, but that comes out. So why don't they just send that and then I can wash this and reuse it? Why not just send the refill, Well, that's a bit out of date. So many things that we could do that we're not doing. You rolled your inhaler. Nice one, Doc. Nice one. The reason why Americans enjoy lower petrol prices is because the US government pay the oil producers to keep the prices down. Yeah. Thanks, Chris C. That makes sense. Sorry, I've missed some comments, so I do apologize. Suzanne, I hardly eat much, but it rots when I look at it. I know. You buy strawberries, and when I've gone to the shop, because I don't go to the shop often because I try and get my food delivered. It's a people thing. Plus the amount of petrol that I'd use to get there. Yeah. You get a thing of strawberries, and like you say, you look at them and they've all gone off. I've got to the stage now where I put them right at the back of the fridge, and I've got the fridge on quite high at the moment because of the heat wave. And so I eat them frozen. Luckily, I think some of you will have seen the video that I put up the other day, the amount of brambles that have got fruit on them, and they're starting to fruit now. So I saw some when I was running up the street earlier today. There were some fruit. I'm like, oh, great, I can just pick them. So I'm going to be picking a lot of blackberries. I'm going to be freezing them, and I'm going to be making stuff from them. It fell out of my pocket and under the 2-ton cricket roller. Blooming neck. I thought they used to only issue the... No, they send a box with it in. It's like, I remember when I was at school and we first started talking about recycling, and she used an example of a toothpaste tube, the teacher. And I was always thinking, what bloody toothpaste is she using? But, you know, you've got your toothpaste tube. Back then, they were those proper, sorry, I've got eczema all over me at the moment. They were those proper metal type ones. Now you've got the softer ones, haven't you? They're like a plasticky one. So again, that's plastic. And you open it, it's got the lid, and then you've got the little tear thing at the top that has to come off. The box that it comes in, and inside the box there's a bit of paper. I mean, all of that stuff, is it really necessary? Is it really necessary? All of this, you know, I mean, I shouldn't have smoked in the first place. I know that. I know that. I own up to the fact that I did smoke and that I caused this problem myself. And that I am a burden on society because of my health issues. And I hate that. I do hate that. But I run and I raise money for charity because it's one thing I can do to give back. Prices tend to be cyclical, so I buy my autistic same foods when they're at a low price point. I also do it to haggle with the store's algorithm. I know everyone can do this, and it's a systematic problem. Oh, that sounds... I'm not quite sure, Liz Allen, how you do that, but that sounds interesting. Here, the prices just seem to go up. It's that they just seem to go up. Like certain places that you buy food from, I'm sure you have it in the States as well, Liz, is, you know, buy two, get one free. And then if you've got a card to that store, you get discounted prices and so on. And it keeps you buying from that shop. It does, because you get your vouchers, and it's like, yeah, they can tell what products you buy. It's all on computer. And my local Tesco at the moment now, they've just put in God knows how many new self-service checkouts. So they've gotten rid of a load of staff from the actual big checkouts. You know, so that's more jobs that have gone. And the people that worked those jobs on those checkouts were older people, older than me. You know, this is probably the only time they got to speak to other people was, you know, the people at the checkouts. And of course, you've got the whoosh delivery now as well, which, you know, I do use. I must admit, I do use it. I mean, it gives a person a job of delivering the stuff, but you've got a person in the store who packs the stuff, and then the person delivers it. But, you know, yeah. So no, so 9 p.m. tonight, not the usual 8 p.m. Oh, brilliant. Thank you for popping that down there, Chris C, so we all know. One of those blue inhalers costs 50 to 70 quid in the US, regardless of whether you have insurance. Wow. Issue is with the recycling systems in place. In Burton, we used to be able to recycle plastic carrier bags, Tetra Pak cartons, saying it costs too much. Yeah, that's it. We've just recently got caddies for waste food stuff, compostable stuff. And so I've been using that. I don't mind using that. Graham, American is known for people saying, I can't breathe. Yeah, but it's not just going to be in America, it's going to be the world over. Oh yeah, he is, Marcus. He's definitely taking the piss out of froggage. I shop at Kroger for the most part. It's like Tesco, I think. Yeah, Tesco is it owned by Walmart, or is that Asda? I can't remember. But yeah, more union friendly than most and keep DEI despite Trump. Good for them. Genetic thing with asthma. No, mine's not asthma. Mine is from smoking. Mine is I've pretty much like emphysema. Gives me a chance to watch the end of the stream. Oh, bless you. Still waiting for the food waste caddies. Yeah. Not planned for another 2 years. Asda used to be owned by Walmart. Thank you, Chris C. I knew it was one of them. Achoo, who's sneezing? Who's sneezing? So yeah, not just us who are on here, who are, you know, we follow politics, we follow all of this stuff, we are aware of the cost of living and what's going on. But now people everywhere are noticing this and realizing, hang on, there's something fishy going on here. And it's getting to the stage where, and we know this, the poor are not going to be able to eat proper food. They're not going to be able to buy proper food, let alone eat it. It's going to come to the stage where towards the end of this month, I'll just be having beans because I won't even have any bread. Oh, okay, Scott, no problem. No problem. Morrison's owned by an American company, and it tells they have closed the deli counters, pie shop counters, and the cake shop counter, butcher and fish counters, and bakery counters. Did the same at my Tesco. The bakery section's gone. Bakery section's gone. All those jobs gone. And then people on the right of government being the right wing people, saying that people aren't working. No, they're taking jobs away from people. It's a shit situation if you're having beans because you won't have any bread. Sorry to hear that. Marcus, it is what it is. Speaking of beans and bread, I do have a goal for super chats. If anybody would like to drop a super chat in, if you do drop a super chat, you will get a little crystal reading from me, just a little message. I hate Paul says, I'm not a fan of baked beans, but I'll eat them. I've also got a couple of tins of steak meat. I've got some frozen veg, and I've got some tins of soup and some tins of rice pudding and some tins of custard. So it's okay. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'm going to my mum's at the weekend, so she'll have all the goodies in. I'll be okay. I'll survive. I will survive. I've got some bread rolls in the fridge that I got this week because I couldn't eat solid food. So I had to break a bit of bread off and dip it in my soup. Even soup. Now I buy that, I've decided, because I'd had my tooth out, I thought, right, I'll spoil myself. I'll buy the new Covent Garden soup. Instead of it being, 400 mils, I think it's now 360 mils. And it's more expensive. And the ingredients have changed. Used to be my favourite soup. Not anymore. Local Sainsbury's still has a bakery. However, they now have a self-service bread slicer as the bakery staff are finished by 8 a.m. Yeah. So, yeah. It's revolution is becoming inevitable. It is revolt or die unless things change. The rich will be eaten like the Motorhead song. So it's absolutely eat the rich. Definitely eat the rich. Yeah. We are the only ones that can make those changes. And, you know, fighting over putting up flags and, you know, when you look at Farage and all of the bloody money he's taken, the cat's out the bag. He's going to have to go. I saw some of the interviews this morning with Jenrick. I don't care who takes over in the Deformed Party. I really don't. They're not going to win. They're not going to win. As does French sticks are too narrow. To give you a laugh, when I was having chemo, I couldn't have strong coffee. I could have really milky, but not strong. And I love strong coffee, though. Can't have it now. Coffee. Coffee's gone up in price. I was buying the Nescafe. I can't remember. It was one of the stronger coffees. But it's like £6 for a smaller jar now. And then the one that I get now, it's a bigger jar. But it's ridiculously expensive. I can't have the cheap coffees. I can't. If I'm going to have coffee, I want to be able to taste the coffee. National Razor needs to be brought out of retirement and sharpened up. Yep, definitely. I used to do cooking in community project. All people across the community pitched in. Andy Burnham dropped by. Oh, wow, Suzanne. And we hosted the Pride event in between lockdowns. Chocolate shot up in price. Oh, my God, yes. I noticed that. Definitely noticed that. If I could dig this garden up and plant vegetables, I would. Unfortunately, right in the middle is a mine shaft, and then around the edges, there's brick underneath it and all sorts of stuff. It's been used to dump stuff, and it really is absolutely shocking that I can't. And the two massive sycamore trees, just all the stuff drops onto this bit of the grass, so nothing would grow there, which is sad, because remember back in the war, you know, everybody turned their gardens into allotments. And my granddad, this is my step granddad, because my mum's dad went to El Alamein, and so he was killed in action. And my step granddad, who I knew as my granddad, my mum's stepdad, he was a gardener, and they had a lovely big, it was a council house, but they had a lovely big garden. So he dug everything up, the front garden, the back garden, everything, and planted vegetables and that. Renting allotment, only a 10-minute walk, not at 25 quid a week. Yeah. And then you've got to get on the waiting list as well for an allotment space. Yeah, Elle, if you're going to buy chocolate, I don't buy Cadbury's anymore. I can't, because it's not chocolate. It's not chocolate. Dig for Victory. That's it, Suzanne. Thank you. I couldn't remember the name. Dig for Victory. And we are going to have to go back to that. So God knows how I'm going to manage it in this garden. But I'll try. I'll do my best. At least I've got a field full of blackberries behind my house, and I've got a little apple tree. Although the apples, there aren't many this year. Last year I had a glut of apples. I was giving them away. I had a box, you know, I left my green bin outside and put a box of apples on top, and they all went. I couldn't have eaten them all. There were far too many. So yeah, we're going to have to, aren't we? We're going to have to go back to those ways of doing things. I've got a load of buckets as well that I just need to fill with soil, deep buckets, so I can put carrots in them, because I wouldn't be able to grow carrots in the garden because the soil is too shallow. It's too shallow. And the other thing is I get slugs, I get snails, not enough hedgehogs because they're probably in the field behind. So I get slugs and snails. When I planted marigolds before, they're gone. The next day, they're all gone. Slugs and snails like marigolds. Noticing more people out foraging for food. Yeah, absolutely, Richard. Absolutely. But again, that's something that I think people are becoming more aware of. I mean, I was foraging the other week. Actually, there is some, I must go tomorrow morning and pick it, some mugwort on the side of my house. I must go there tomorrow. I might actually go out quickly after this and pick some mugwort. I used to love blackberry picking, but not done it in years. I think there is a place down the road from here where it's public and can be collected, but I will need to check for health reasons. Yeah, Marcus, you be careful. You know, I pick off the bush and just eat them, you know. If I eat a bug, I eat a bug. I eat enough flies anyway when I'm running. They all fly in your mouth. I've had stuff trying to get in my ears today. In the 70s and 80s, I used to buy biscuits instead of chocolate bourbons and custard creams. You get more for your money. I've gone back to that. My siblings bought chocolate and ate it. I had biscuits all week. Yeah, growing your own food. Fine if you've got space. It's time consuming, even if you have the option. Exactly. It is very, very time consuming. It really is. You have to go out there every single day. You know, if you've seen the video that I posted the other day, the brambles are just coming over the wall. They're just taking over. I've got my saw, so I'll be taking them down. And I've got a one of those hedge strimmer things that I need to, I was going to get some ivy down today, and I've not done that either. So when I had the house that I used to live in before had a massive back garden, massive back garden, and it had been used to grow vegetables in, and I grew a lot of stuff. I had a grapevine, I had a red currant bush, I had about 5 or 6 gooseberry bushes, I grew lettuces. What else did I have? There was other fruit. Oh, there was blackberries as well. But they were proper blackberries. The grapevine, the grapes weren't great, but they made good jam. I planted all sorts in that garden. It had the space. I had the space, and it was in the sun. This garden isn't. This garden is south on that side, but there's trees and a wall. Nothing better than eating a tomato straight from the vine. Absolutely. Absolutely. 3 months a year if you're lucky. Yeah. Or you get like I've got a porch here, but I'd need to put a light in there, and then the bloody helicopter will fly over and think that I've got a grow going on. So yeah, that's it. All that work. I can't say I'm too pure and good though. I love Skittles and sherbet. Oh, I love sherbet. I love sherbet. So before I go, two things. Some plants prefer a little shade, and you don't have to grow everything. If you can grow something that is easy to trade, you might get free corn or taters. Barter is very in, baby. Absolutely, Mikey. Well, here there's a couple. They've got a nice big garden. They've got fruit trees, and last year I got plums from them. And she gave me pears as well. They had a glut. But like I say, this year, like I said, I put apples out on the side because I asked her if she needed apples, and she already had apples. And these are Granny Smiths, but last year they were very sweet. So some years they're a bit sourer, but I still eat them anyway. I like apples. So yeah, like you say, some plants do prefer shade. But 3 months of pure heaven. Same with strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, and gooseberries. I love raspberries. Raspberries are my favorites. I'm growing lettuce, tomatoes, catnip, and taters. Are you able to grow the catnip without being swamped by cats? I had, when I lived in South Africa, I had a little garden in one of the houses that I lived in, and I put catnip in. And I was doing the gardening. And the next thing, my cat came out and he laid on top of it like, you are not touching the catnip. Go away, go away. You are not touching this. He just laid on top of it, wouldn't let me near it. Cats stay indoors around you. Okay. 82-year-old auntie grows some beautiful stuff in her garden. Shame I don't see her more. Oh, bless you. Plums, yeah. I think that's what we've got to do, isn't it? We're going to have to go back to growing our own. And like Mikey says, they're bartering, well, exchanging food. If somebody's got lots of this, then another person can have lots of that. Sorry, notification. Oh, it's my twin paranormal guys. But they do a live feed first, and then they show the video. So I'll be okay. I'll be okay. So, sorry, just checking. Didn't want to see that I'd eaten into the Sunday social. Years ago, my next door neighbour grew squash, tomatoes, eggplant and cantaloupe in my backyard. He used his own water and mowed my yard too. I'm only mobile enough to mow with a power mower now. Oh, wow. Bye, Mikey. Thank you for joining. And thank you so much for all of your advice. Actually, really good advice. I will try and watch your show this week. Things are just going chaotic at the moment, but I will try and give you guys a watch this week. Mwah, to you guys. I think that's, perhaps I need to look at that as like saying to my neighbours, like, look, who of you wants to grow some stuff in the garden? Love to have oh, Chris C, that is my ultimate dream. My dream is to live in the middle of a wood with a area around me where I've got chickens and a goat and a cow, a milking cow, and, grow my own vegetables and herbs and stuff. That would be heaven. That is my idea of heaven. It really is. Will I ever get there? I don't know. I've put that out to the universe. I've asked the goddess. I keep manifesting it. So hopefully one day it will appear. Just wish I had more space, but it is amazing what you can grow on the window ledge if you're interested and prepared to work on it. Absolutely. Chickens are the best, Chris. Fabulous friends. Yeah. Cockerels are a bit noisy. I don't mind them, to be honest. I the other day, after the hot days, and then I got the windows open. So I had window open on the back of my house. There's a massive hawthorn tree. And then the window open to this side where there's two big sycamores, and there's a robin in that tree and a robin in that tree. And they were just squawking at each other, shouting. It was not pretty. This was supposed to be the nicest time of the day when the sun comes up. And they were just shouting at each other and having a right fight. So that was annoying. I'd rather have a cockerel crowing in the background. Graham, I've known a few noisy and annoying cocks in my time, so have I. I think most of us have. They go mad in the morning. I don't mind. I really don't mind. I lived on a farm for a while, so it really doesn't bother me. I'd rather have animal noises than cars going past. Rats too. I have rats. I have mice. I have 5 cats. There's nothing I can do about the rats. Nothing I can do about them. I've got bats as well, not only in my belfry, but in the garage and I think in the attic here as well. Your space bar is malfunctioning again. Oh dear. Don't bash it. Don't bash your keyboard. So anyway, I'm just going to speak about a movie that I watched the other night before I go. I did have some other things lined up, but it's okay. I can talk about them tomorrow. I watched a movie on Friday night. It's on Prime. Hail Mary. Some of you might have seen it already. I'm going to try not to give too many spoilers away, but my God, did I cry? I didn't expect to be in tears. I did not expect to be in tears, but I was. I thought a cat had come in then. So the premise of it is, or the sort of brief synopsis is that there is some strange thing attacking the sun, and the sun is dying. So this guy, played by, what's his name, Ryan Gosling, he's a science teacher at school, but he's also a very clever science teacher. And he gets sort of asked by the government to come along and try and investigate this thing that it is, sort of eating the sun, because the Earth's only got X amount of time, to live, because as the sun dims, there will be less food grown, and so on and so on. Much the same as what I've been talking about tonight. I'd love a remote cottage with a couple of acres of land and a basement so I could stay cool in the heat waves. Absolutely. Project Hail Mary, I listened to it years ago and I liked the book. Yeah, I believe it was a movie, because there was another one, a third one that I think has been earmarked to be filmed, because the author wrote The Martian as well, didn't he? Lighthouse in the North Sea with a good library and a kettle. Absolutely. Used to Hail Mary a lot as a kid. I was forced to. You're going to hell now. Well, I'm a witch. I'll see you there. I saw a blackbird today with white markings on it singing in a tree. Jays and a woodpecker. It's just outside of Manchester. Yeah, that is a thing. Blackbirds, some of them are grown with white feathers, some white feathers. You do actually get white blackbirds as well. Would love a 2-bed bungalow with garden and sunroom close enough to a functioning bus route to take me to the shops. Oh, bless you, person. Wouldn't, a lot of my friends, there's a specific group of friends of mine who want to buy a piece of land to, have a community on. Yeah, we're a bunch of hippies and witches and, self-sustain. And I'd do it. I'd do it in a heartbeat. Absolutely. As long as there's Wi-Fi. But you can buy the thing, can't you, and link up now. So, as long as I'd be able to do this, I'd be happy. But it would be wonderful, wouldn't it, if we could live in a society where we're all accepted instead of being on the outside of society. So anyway, back to Hail Mary. So he is asked to discover what this thing is. And, So he works on that, and meanwhile he doesn't realize that there's this whole government thing going on, that it is actually a massive thing. And anyway, he ends up being one of the Artemis. That's it. That's the one. The Martian was the peak. Okay, Artemis. I should have known that. I should have known that it was Artemis. If I had the money to buy a remote cottage, I would pay for the full fibre broadband to be ran to it. Yeah, well, you need it. You need it, Chris. Wait until I sell some songs, books and scripts, and I have enough money, and then I will let you know. I will buy an entire village. Brilliant, Marcus. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, let's do that. Elle, I don't know what you're on about there. Oh, we're talking about birds. Okay. So anyway, he ends up being forced to go into space as part of this mission to discover what this is. There's a planet or a sun that is not actually, it's got some sort of protection. It's only one in the universe that is not being unalived by this thing, this alien creature, whatever it is, that is a cell. And it is beautiful. It is a beautiful film. It again focuses on the solitary human being, but then there's another character that's brought into it, which is just so super special. And I sobbed. I didn't expect to cry at a science fiction movie. Did not expect to cry at a science fiction movie. But Marcus, that's great. If you're, yeah, brilliant. I'm there. As long as I can bring my cats. That's the main thing. Bring my cats. Rang the RSPCA. They said it's doomed. Just make it come. Oh, was that a bird? They don't normally take birds. I found a crow that had got a broken wing, and the cats were trying to get it, and rang the RSPCA, and they said, just break its neck. I couldn't do it. No. What is a human being? A Goldcrest. Oh, it's so sad when things like that happen. My cats brought in a bird the other day. It was in the kitchen on the windowsill. I thought, what is that noise? I thought it was, I've got a fan in the downstairs loo, which is their litter room. The litter trays are in there. And I thought, there's no wind, because when the wind blows, the fan in there, the plastic thing batters around a bit. I go in and there's a live lady blackbird on the windowsill. So I open the window to let her go out. I don't know if she survived or not. Is Mr. Bean surely a migrant bird? Yeah. It's sad when things like that happen. But in this heat wave this coming week, guys, if you have the space, put a bowl of water outside for the birdies, or, a couple of bowls of water, something that, is quite shallow so that they're not going to get in and drown. So, yeah, just be aware that the birds will be looking for water as well, because they will need to cool down. And I've often thought, I don't know how birds survive in winter because their little feet must get so cold, but apparently they can't feel through their feet. I don't know. I don't know if they can feel through their feet or not. But yeah, if you do get a chance to watch Hail Mary, it is really, really good. I highly recommend it. It's one of the best films I've seen in a while, because I watch stupid horror movies. And I knew my sister had been to see it at the cinema with her son. The family went for his birthday. And yeah, so it was I really enjoyed it. I prefer watching movies at home. It's the people in the cinema. It's the people. There was that video that was playing earlier. There's a guy on there that had a moan. Hello, mama. Are you going to climb all over the keyboards? Do you want to do some internettings? Hey, this is Fern. This is Mama Fern. She'll probably show you her bum now. Oh, no. What you doing? Where you going? Birds love the sprinkler when I have it going on the cricket square. Oh, held it until it left us and then buried it. Oh. Oh. I hate it when, no, they don't want to see your bum. They don't want to see your bum. I don't want to see your bum. Come here. No, let that go. Let that go. It's not a real mouse. It's a computer mouse. No, you can stay here. It's okay. I'll love you, but just don't climb all over things. The thing is, when she was a kitten, she used to get on this desk and crawl all over things. And now she's a big cat. She still thinks she's a kitten. So you've been graced with the presence of Fern today. So yeah, watch that if you can. Oh yeah, I was talking about that video with the cost of living crisis. So this guy comes on and he's on about the cinema. Looks like a starfish. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Looks like a star. Yeah. Are you going to sit there? Okay. So this guy came on and he's like, 200 quid it cost me at the cinema. And he shows the bill and 100 quid of it was for Stella. Now, I go to the cinema and I take my own pop and popcorn and whatever I'm going to have with me in my bag, and just get the tickets and that. But, yeah, whacked with the tail. Oh, yeah. She likes to do the whole tail thing. Your ears itching. Eh? Oh, you've got itchy ears. Oh. Is that nice? She's got itchy ears. She needs me to clean them, actually. I must clean them. Yes, she hasn't had any attention. Well, she's not the worst one. The worst one for attention is actually, it's a toss-up between Goblin and Buttercup. Buttercup gets me all night. Goblin gets me in the afternoon. She likes to sit on my knee for a good couple of hours. It's really annoying. And then I've got to go and sort Florence out in a bit as well. Give her other meds. And clean her paw. Rubber glove time. But so who buys beers like that at a cinema, spending 100 quid on bloody Stella? Says it's expensive to go to the cinema. But then he spent 100 quid on beer, lager. I mean, this whole new thing with getting nachos and whatever at the cinema, I'm happy with popcorn, Maltesers and a Coke. That's me. I'm happy with that. I don't want to, she's sat on, I've got another chair here. It's just like a kitchen chair. And I've got a blanket on it so that they can sit next to me. Because when I came in here before I went live, she was sat on my chair. Why they like to sit on my chair, I don't know, but they all like to sit on my chair. Maybe they like the stench of my farts. I don't know. The stench of their farts is bloody bad. Could go out on a tenner once. Yeah, I wouldn't go to the cinema anyway because it's too bloody. Well, the one closest to me in Worksop actually has cheap rates in the week in the morning. So I sometimes go to them, but I like running in the morning, you see, so it's like, but yeah, it's the cost of, for me, it's the cost of the, stuff that goes with it, the popcorn and all that lot. Much rather take my own popcorn. Anyway, guys, I am going to head off for the evening because I need to sort this lot out and get the other ones in. and I need to get something to eat because I haven't actually had any dinner yet. And then I'm going to watch my program. Cinema's not the same since it went digital. I don't know, you know, I like the sound in there. And now they've all got these new chairs that you can recline in. I can't recline because I can't eat and stuff, but I do like them. Fair enough for cheap rates, but it is so expensive otherwise. Yeah, it is. It is. Too loud in the cinema. Yeah. Yeah, I always say, like, food and drink in your bag, just, you know. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you to all of the mods for your hard work, and for everybody for your comments and ideas that we've all shared today. Oh, I didn't finish the poll, did I? The last poll. Hang on. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at what the poll said. So, has there been an increase of cost of food affected your weekly shop? Yes, 89%, no, 11%. And the don't know and the I don't eat, 0%. The mods haven't had anything to do tonight. Well, isn't that wonderful? We've had no horrible people here. Yes, thank you for popping up the link to this Sunday Social for those who want to pop over there. Thank you to Graham, Power to the People. If you don't follow his channel, please do. He's absolutely brilliant. Got an amazing Liverpudlian accent and sense of humour, and a beautiful little doggy that is on the show. And also, who else was on? Oh, yeah, Panda the Torture Clown. If you want to watch some alternative clowning around, go watch Panda. It's bizarre, but well worth watching, into a different dimension. Who else came on today? Oh, yes, the LGBT link, which is in the pinned comment at the top, to sign the petition, please, if you can. And if you can, share it with your friends, your enemies, you know, people on your socials. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Graham. Thank you. I always chat about different stuff. I tried to chat about different stuff on a Sunday night. Didn't get through half the stuff that I wanted to talk about because there's a huge thing going on with the Tates. Brilliant news, but I'll talk about that tomorrow. Yeah, so thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you to everybody who's watched and put up with me and my waffling and the tinfoil hat. And I will see you all tomorrow evening, 6 p.m. for those of you who want to join me. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Blessed be. Mwah. Bye, guys.